Twisted High Priestess. Press like, subscribe, notification. I like to tell stories. I don't like it to resonate with anybody. This is for entertainment purposes only. It's more of the lesson. But, you know, sometimes I could talk in that form where it might resonate. It is what it is. This is for Libra? Okay. Libra, I get the Queen of Swords there. You are, and the Emperor. Someone here could have a business having to do with mirrors. Also, something special about those black mirrors. Just in case you don't know about the black mirror, I'm talking about the black mirror. The black mirror. Also the superstition behind having cracked mirrors. Also, what is your true form? They say that the mirror that we see in front of us is actually magic. Also, the fact that we can see each other on this mirror, right? Like I can see the reflection of me when I'm on here while I am recording, while I'm doing this. I'm looking at my reflection. They said the most natural reflection of who you really are is in like a river, a pond. When you look at yourself, that's the real you. Also, I'm hearing The Man in the Mirror with Michael Jackson. The fuck? Give me a second. I know I did not put this that fucking hard. I'm really irritated right now. I feel like I need that. Oh, I got it. I was like, I am never gonna make it this. Ice too. Someone is taking samples of ice, icicles. Are you at like Antarctica or something like that? Also, don't be like, Antarctica is a great place to look at stuff if you want to go down the rabbit hole. They were saying that there was new explorers that went to Antarctica, right? They had heard that glaciers were melting off. They're amongst the first to discover that there was some major, I think two major, let me show it to you. It's hard to describe. It's better if I just show it to you. So I'm going to show it to you. Let me see where we're at. I'm pretty sure I saved it. Right here. What was in the water in Antarctica? What you gotta realize when they uncovered Lake Vostok back in 2012, right? It hadn't been exposed for roughly 15 million years. They assumed that because there were no observable life forms on land, that the same would apply for the water, but they'd realized that was a tragic misjudgment on the final day of drilling when they removed the last ice cap that was covering the water. And so, as the crew all stood there, right, arrogantly surrounding this water hole, as this hydraulic arm clamped onto the final ice cap and got ready to lift it, they began feeling these kind of rumbling sensations underneath the ground, right? And the arm operator kind of looks at the team leader and says, "What the hell's that?" And with a nonchalant expression, he just kind of responds, "Oh, it's probably just built up water pressure trying to make its way out. Go ahead and let it." The operator goes ahead and begins lifting the ice cap, and the crew all just watch intensely, you know, anticipating being the first modern people to gaze into these prehistoric waters. And as the cap gets just high enough to expose the water, These utterly massive, kind of white, almost translucent, veiny tentacles just emerge out of the depths of the opening, simultaneously grabbing 3 or 4 of the crewmates and sucking them into the abyss of these waters. In that moment, the remaining crew tried to just take off running in a state of shock, right? But they had no idea what they'd unleashed. While running, one of the crewmates says to the team leader, "John, can that thing get on land?" And as he says to him, "Buddy, cephalopods around heavily contrasted terrain can get on land. You think that thing would feel the difference between water and ice?" The ground literally just shakes as this thing braces its tentacles around the rim of the opening and emerges, letting out a screech full of 15 million years of suppression. John dives into this vehicle with one other crewmate, and as he revs it up, he looks in the rear view, waiting for the last 2 men to make it, while this massive 40-foot tall, white-toned kraken just glides across the ice like it was on skates, reaching out a tentacle at a time and sweeping each of those men off their feet. John just drowns out the sounds of their screams as he punches the gas, trying to get as far away from this creature as possible. They were airlifted out of this region, and this entire faction of the continent has since been considered an unpermittable, restricted access area. Can I go ahead and say, this is a joke for entertainment purposes only, for my safety buddy. What was in the water in Antarctica? Look, you gotta realize.
Okay, this is Dr. Fiction. So it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Now, look, if we were looking into, look at that. Looking into these things. And this is like the face of the Kraken or whatever. Look, had been down there for a while, and it finally was able to escape. They saw the light coming out, and the Kraken, even though this person said, I would, for the safety of me, I will have to say this is for entertainment purposes only. Have you ever heard like the wildest story, and not from TikTok or from YouTube? You're hearing this shit out of people that have truly gone out there to Antarctica, to Alaska, to these foreign islands, and they're telling you a story, and they're watching your facial expressions, and you're like, that's kind of scary, and then they laugh it off. Ha 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 ha, everybody's laughing it off, but it stays with you in an eerie way, like, is what they're telling me true, or is this fake? You guys do know that like a kraken, an octopus, all of that, if we were to go extinct, they will be the first ones to they would take our place as humans. And if you really think about it, do you know how our nervous system looks? And I want you to show me I want you to think about this. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the nervous system, I want you to look at this. You see that one eye? That's your nervous system. Okay. Look at this one. Does this look like a kraken to you, or an octopus? It just takes form in our body like it's inside of us. You know what I'm saying? It's in us. If we were to take away all my meat and stuff, I would look like an octopus or a kraken or whatever the fuck it is. I also feel like someone's coming across a researcher, a doctor, something like that, and then there's someone that is like a construction worker. They're the help, but their help is very important with what goes with the doctors, what goes with these engineers. You can't do these engineers, these doctors, these scientists. They can't do nothing without these construction workers, these site workers, the boatmen, the helicopter men, the people that do those kinds of things. And I feel like the construction worker may not have the brain of a scientist, but they have enough common sense to tell you, have you heard the stories that happen out there in Antarctica? Because if you haven't, let me tell you one. And I'm going to leave it alone.